Welcome back to the Golden End Tide channel where language is through perseverance. It's your boy S.T with another grammar pattern coming at you. This week we're going to learn the grammar pattern of なくてはならない、なくちゃならない, and ことにする. Get ready. Alright, so we have a whole bunch to get through today, so we're going to jump right into this grammar pattern, starting off with the なくてはならない, which means must verb. The construction of this verb is quite easy. It comes into three parts. All we're going to do is take the dictionary form of the verb, turn it into its mise en que, which is the nai form of the verb, and then turn it into the なくてはならない. Let's take this example. Alright, so for the first example, we will go through the process together. We'll break it down into its three steps and get the ultimate outcome of must verb. Real simply, what we'll do is we'll take that dictionary form of the word, let's use sagasu, which means to search. We'll turn it into its mise en que, or its nai form of its word, which with sagasu becomes sagasanai. And then we'll stick it together with the grammar pattern and we get sagasa nakute wa naranai, which means must search. So now that we know how to construct this grammar pattern, let's try to practice it. We're going to go ahead and try 4 practices with different verbs. I want you to take it through each step. Through the dictionary form, to its mise en que, and then on to the ultimate grammar pattern. Let's see what we get. Okay, so for practice number 1, we're going to start with the dictionary form of heru, which means to decrease. How would you say not decrease or don't decrease? Think about it. All right. If you got heranai, then you're correct, which means don't decrease or not decrease. So how would you say must decrease? Think about it. Nai form. Put it together. And you should get hera nakute wa naranai, which means must decrease. Alright, let's look at the next one. Okay, so let's imagine for practice number 2, you need to tell somebody to repeat something. Then we take the dictionary form of kurikaesu. So sometimes you need them not to repeat. How would you say don't repeat or to not repeat? Think about it. And again, if you have not went through the grammar pattern of how to turn verbs into their nai form, please stop, go back to another video and check that out. Alright, so you should have got kurikaesanai. Kurikaesanai means don't repeat or not repeat, okay? So then how would you tell somebody that they must repeat? Maybe you work in the military or you work at a police department or something and you need them to repeat it. And they have to repeat it. How would you say must repeat? Okay. All right. I see. Yep. All right. So you should have got 繰り返せなくてはならない. 繰り返さなくてはならない, which means must repeat. Alright, let's look at this next example. Alright, so for example number 3, let's say you need to discuss something with somebody, right? Then we can use the verb to discuss, which is 話し合う. 話し合う changed into its nai form is, think about it, has the last of the u. So that turns into 話し合わない, right? To not discuss or don't discuss. So then how would we say that we must discuss? You know, you get into that argument with your significant other or whoever and you must discuss this, right? How would you say that? Alrighty. So you should have got 話し合わなくてはならない. You must discuss this, or she must discuss this, right? I know a lot of people might be mad when you learn that one. Okay, so for the 4th and final practice of this section, we're going to use the word kazaru, which means to decorate. how would you say don't decorate? Like, I'm an adult. Why are you decorating my party? Like, like I'm a 6-year-old. Do not decorate my party. Or not to decorate my party. Right? How would you say that? It would be飾らない.飾らない. Right? Of course, you'd have to maybe 飾らない then. Right? But how would you take 飾らない into must decorate? Like, yo, it's my 21st birthday. I don't care. I want decorated buses. I want decorated houses. You must decorate for my party, right? How would you say must decorate? And you should get 飾らなくてはならない. And that means you must decorate. Okay. 例文時間. Some practice sentences, right? So our example sentences. Let's take 4 example sentences using the same grammar pattern and see what we get. I'll give you half of the sentence up front, the dictionary form of the verb that we are going to stick to this grammar pattern, and then you can create the whole sentence and then translate the sentence. So let's look at sentence number 1. Example sentence number 1. All right. So we could take and we put together the sentence of 母の誕生日のパーティーには and we can conjugate the word 飾る. You should remember 飾る from the last little bit, what it means. Go ahead and put that whole sentence together and let's get the translation as well. Okay, so altogether you should have gotten 母の誕生日のパーティーには飾らなくてはならない, which means I must decorate for my mother's birthday party. That's right. You better hook up mama. All right. Okay, so for practice sentence number 2, we're going to use the sentence of 括弧を変えるには指導者を and the conjugated word to use is going to be 変える, which means to change or to alter. All right, let's see what we get. And all together we get 括弧を変えるには指導者を変えなくてはならない, which means in order to change results, you must change leadership. Okay, so for practice sentence number 3, we're going to use 私らの役割をちゃんと, and the word that will be placed in the grammar pattern is going to be 演じる. Okay, let's put it together and see what we get. Okay, so the whole sentence together should be 私らの役割をちゃんと演じなくてはならない, which means we must diligently play our roles or our part. Alright, so for the 4th and final practice sentence, we're going to use the sentence of 大統領に当選するためには候補者は選挙人の過半数である270を獲得する. So take the 獲得する and change it into the entire sentence and see what you get. Alright, so this one's a little bit tough, but let's put it all together. We get 大統領に当選するためには候補者は選挙人の過半数である270を獲得しなくてはならない, which means to win the presidency, a candidate must have possession of the majority or 270 of the electoral votes. Woo! That one's a tongue twister. It gets me. I hope it got you. Well, I hope it didn't get you, rather. I hope you got through it a lot better than me. But let's move on to the next grammar pattern. Okay, so for the next grammar pattern, we have なくちゃならない, which is just the conversational expression of なくてはならない. Let's look at an example sentence, and then we'll move into some practice. For the construction of this grammar pattern, all we're going to do is take the final product of what we just learned, the なくてはならない pattern, and then just change it into the なくちゃならない pattern. Real simple, let's do the first example together. Okay, so let's use the example of 失わなくてはならない, which means must miss or must lose. To turn it into its conversational expression, it becomes 失わなくちゃならない, which means the same exact thing as must miss or must lose, right? So now that we know how to do it, let's go ahead and try some practice. Okay, so practice number 1, we're going to take shoji nakute wa naranai, which means must happen or must occur. How would we say that in the conversational expression? All right, so that becomes shoji nakucha naranai, which means again, must happen or must occur. All right, so practice number 2, we have o wa nakute wa naranai, which means must chase or must pursue. So how would we change this into the conversational expression? Okay, so the conversational expression becomes o wa nakucha naranai, which means again, must chase or must pursue. Okay, so for practice number 3, we're going to use tsutawara nakute wa naranai, which means must be transmitted or must come from something, right? So how would we change that into the conversational expression? Okay, so the conversational expression becomes tsutawara nakucha naranai, which means must be transmitted or must come from, right? And finally, for number 4, we're going to use motto zuka nakute wa naranai, which means must be based on. So let's turn that into the conversational expression of I don't know why I felt that I had to continue it into the next part. But that is going to be motto zuka nakucha naranai. And that is still must be based on. So now that we have that all put together, let's go into our example sentences or our reibun. Okay, let's try practice sentence number 1. We have まだもう少し話をして明日の朝のことを and then we can use 考える to be modified in this sentence. Try it out, see what you get, and then let's get the translation. So the sentence turns into まだもう少し話をして明日の朝のことを考えなくちゃならない which means we will talk a little more and must think about it in the morning. Alright, so practice sentence number 2, we have 私たちは都市部において生産性の高い工作を築き and then we can end it with あげる so you would be conjugating あげる okay? And all together we should get 私たちは都市部において生産性の高い工作を築き上げなくちゃならない and that becomes we must build highly productive works in urban areas. Alright, next example. Alright, getting pumped up for example sentence or practice sentence number 3. We're going to use 日本語能力試験を and the conjugated verb will be 受ける and put those together and let's see what we get. Following along with the other practice sentences, the whole sentence becomes 日本語能力試験を受けなくちゃならない which means I or you or somebody must take the Japanese language proficiency test. Alright, last but not least, we have practice sentence number 4. We're going to start off with 花の水やりを and the conjugated word will be する. Drum roll says the entire sentence will become 花の水やりをしなくちゃならない which means I must or you must or whoever must water the flowers. Alright, on to the next. Okay, so for the next grammar pattern, we're going to learn how to say to decide to verb. And it's really, really simple in the construction of this grammar pattern. All we have to do is take ことにする and attach that to the jisho ke or the dictionary form of the doshi or the verb. Once we do that, we get decide to verb. Okay, now with all of that in mind, let's try this example. Let's use the word yoporau, which is the dictionary form of to get drunk. So if we decide to get drunk, then we would say 酔っ払うことにする。酔っ払うことにする, which means decide to get drunk. Now that we have that, let's go ahead and try some practice conjugation. Okay, so for practice number 1, we're going to take the dictionary form of yakusu. Yakusu means to translate. How would you say decide to translate? Okay, so the correct conjugation of this word, you should have got yakusuru koto ni suru. That together would mean decide to translate. And if you speak any type of Japanese or any language and you're in that country and your friends come around you and they don't speak any of it, you will have to decide to translate for your friends, no matter what level that you're on. If you have any good stories or funny stories about you having to decide to translate for your friends or whatever, go ahead and drop that in the box. I would love to see some funny stories. All right, next. Okay, here we go with practice number 3. We have the word homeru. Homeru means to compliment. How would you say decide to compliment? Like, I have to decide to compliment somebody. I mean, I guess we do decide, but, I mean, you should always compliment somebody. Anyways, how would you say decide to compliment? That's 100% correct. You got homeru koto ni suru, which means decide to compliment. All right, next. Number 3. I believe I said the last one was number 3, but I believe it was number 2. The real number 3. All right, so for number 3, we're going to use the word nobasu. Nobasu means to postpone. I cannot talk right now. I need something to drink. Okay. Nobasu, how would you say decide to postpone? Like all of a sudden the wedding was going bad, we decided to postpone, right? How would you say decide to postpone? And of course, because these are easy, you should have got nobasu koto ni suru. And that means decide to postpone. And last up in this part of the practice, we have tsukiau. Tsukiau means to socialize with. So how would you say decide to socialize with? Like, oh, that guy, I guess I'll decide to socialize with him. Okay, and of course the answer to that is tsukiau koto ni suru, which means decide to socialize with. Don't worry, I wouldn't socialize with me either. This guy. Now let's practice with these example sentences. Example sentence number 1. We're going to use fuyu yasumi ni nishukan, and the verb that we'll use to conjugate is going to be kikoku suru. Kikoku suru. Put the whole sentence together and let's see what you get. Oh my goodness. I should put together like a bloopers reel to show you how much I actually suck in this language. Anyways. The entire sentence together should be fuyu yasumi ni nishukan kikoku koto ni suru, which means I will decide to return to my country for 2 weeks this winter. All right, so now that I've actually got through that one, let's go on to the next example. All right, example sentence or practice sentence, whichever way you want to look at it. Number 2, we're going to go with kore kara amai mono wa, and the conjugated word that we're going to use is tabenai. So put that all together and let's see what you decide to do or not do. Oh, wait a minute. I totally forgot. This one is going to be kakko with past tense version of the conjugation. So whatever you decide, you've decided, right? How would you put that together now? Give you a quick 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2. No, I'm just saying. Let's get into it. It should be kore kara amai mono wa tabenai koto ni shita in the casual or shimashita, whichever way you want to go with it. But altogether, it means I decided to not eat sweet stuff or sweet things from now on. All right? Okay, and for practice number 3, we're going to use 彼は家の外でブラブラして and the word that we'll use to conjugate will be 過ごす. 過ごす. Put it all together. And actually, no. We'll do it again. We'll make this a past tense sentence. So instead of decide, decide did, right? Go ahead and put it together and let's see what you get. Okay, and all together we get 彼は家の外でブラブラして過ごすことにした which means he decided to spend his leisurely time outside of his house or outside the house, right? Okay, next. And to the last practice sentence of this grammar pattern, we're going to use 毎朝30分 and the word or the verb to conjugate is going to be ジョギングする. ジョギングする. Put it all together and let's see what we get. Okay, and just so we can keep ourselves on our toes, for this last one, let's turn it into the ing form of this grammar pattern. So altogether, you should get 毎朝ジョギングすることにしている, which means I'll decide to go running for 30 minutes or jogging for 30 minutes every morning. Cool? Alrighty. Okay, now that we have all of these 3 grammar patterns shoved in our heads, let's go ahead and take that and utilize it with this week's shohei. 子供たちが川から帰ってこない。もしかすると道に迷ったのかもしれない。みんなで手分けして探さなくてはならない。まず誰かがどこを探すのか決めなくてはならない。山本さんは東の方に、私は西の方に行くことにした。一人はテントに残らなくてはならない。前田さんが残って連絡を待つことにした。日が沈むまでに見つけなければならない。早く出発しよう。その時、子供たちが帰ってきた。途中の林で栗を拾ってきたの。まっすぐ帰ってこなくちゃならないよ。みんなずいぶん心配したぞ。And as always, please go ahead and translate those by yourselves and drop anything that you want inside the comment box down below. Translations, fixes, corrections, whatever it is. Again, you guys, this is our language journey together through perseverance. And as always, I'm your boy S.T. Peace.